Farmland in PEI is disappearing faster than it has in a generation. If this continues, half of PEI's farmland will be gone by 2050. This is a trend we are starting to see in other provinces. As the need for housing keeps growing for many farmers, it seems to make more sense to sell to developers than to try and eke out a living in an industry that's getting more challenging every year. What does this mean for the future of farms and our food supply? And for that, we're going to turn to Donald Killorn. He's the Executive Director of the Prince Edward Island Federation of Agriculture, joining us from Charlottetown this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Anne-Marie. Thank you for having me.
We're looking at the why in this problem because we know it's happening. Cities are growing so fast, there's often more profit for farmers, as we said, to sell land to a developer than to wait for a cash crop. What effect is this having on PEI as a whole?
Well, it makes it difficult for new entrants into the industry, certainly, as agricultural land becomes more scarce. Agricultural land is also our most valuable natural resource on Prince Edward Island. So by losing it at this rate, at a rate of 12% over 5 years, it does cause us to sit up and say, okay, what can we do to stem this tide and ensure that we can continue to have the economic impact from agriculture that Prince Edward Island depends on?
And there's so many of these farms, our legacy farms, our family farms. The Federation of Agriculture is lobbying the province right now. They want to classify agricultural land, like we're showing people at home right now, as a resource land. What protections does that give them?
Well, we have a kind of a shocking lack of planning around a lot of our lands in Prince Edward Island outside of the municipalities. So if we did adopt a land use plan across the province, that would represent a significant step forward in managing this natural resource and ensuring that the land is available for farmers to grow crops and livestock and allow us to continue farming at the rate that we do.
It's a valuable resource for sure. I mean, this is the source of our food, of our meats and our dairy and our bread. What is needed to make farming more profitable than selling out to developers?
Oh, geez, I wish I knew the answer to that question. Margins have been lost in agriculture. The farmer has seen their margins shrink dramatically, both in crops and livestock, with the cost of inputs and some of the realities there. So, we're working on a national grocery code of conduct. We hope that helps. But the question of how do we resecure margins for our primary producers is one that we grapple with across Canada, not just on Prince Edward Island. But it's critical to this question of preserving farmland in our province.
I feel like if we support our airline industry, certainly we can support our farming industry as well. We've seen a similar situation play out in the province of Ontario. Parts of that long protected green belt are now being opened up for development. What is your fear if this trend of disappearing farmland isn't reversed?
Well, not to be alarmist, this question of Canadian farmland reaches beyond our own country. We're the 5th largest producer of food in the world, and the world really depends on us now more than ever to produce safe, healthy food. And so, not beyond the economic impact, our country has a very important place, and we have to consider that. Now, what we see in our Constitution is that these natural resources fall under the purview of the provinces, and so we do count on our provincial governments to manage these resources effectively. And we see that in each province, and in Prince Edward Island, where we don't have oil, we don't have minerals. This question of farmland is one that's critical. But it scales up to the national level and then internationally as well. And so it's a conversation for all of us as Canadians and how we're going to support our farmers and what agriculture in Canada looks like and what our goals and objectives are.
Donald, I don't think it's alarmist. I just think you're telling us the facts about an alarming situation. Thanks so much for coming on this morning.
My pleasure, Anne-Marie.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.